Assalamualaikum. Today I will be present about advantages and disadvantages of nuclear. For the advantages of a nuclear energy has ability to produce electricity without greenhouse gas emission. Nuclear reaction release 1,000,000 times more energy compared to other energy. Nuclear reactor produce large amount of energy from the small amount of uranium. The nuclear energy is by far the most concentrated energy. Besides that, the nuclear energy is cost competitive. A nuclear plant also does not require a lot of space. The nuclear industry was creating jobs. We move to the disadvantages of nuclear. Some reactors produce plutonium, which can be to make a nuclear weapon. Nuclear plants require a high level of technology and a major initial capital investment. Besides that, there are issues with management of radioactive waste. Spent fuel is highly radioactive and has to be carefully stored many years after use. An accident may cause a major disaster in the thousands of casualties and releasing a high amount of radiation in the environment. Nuclear plant may be valuable target to another wanting to disrupt the supply.
Nuclear reactor process is the same as other power plant. They use fuel to heat up water and produce steam. This steam is generated to drive a turbine to produce electricity. There are three main components of a nuclear reactor. First, it's the fuel. The fuel is usually uranium in form of rods. Then the moderator. This moderator are submerged into the fuel and usually water. And lastly, control rods. Control rods are used to control the nuclear fission reaction inside a reactor core, which the reaction take place. Nuclear fission is when a neutron atom collides with a uranium molecule, creating more neutron atoms to collide with more uranium molecule. This reaction creates a heat in form of kinetic energy. The heat is transferred into the moderator, which is water, to produce steam. This steam that drives the turbine to produce electricity.
Okay, I will talk about impact of nuclear energy to politics. Impact of politics. Government outside the purely of administrative tasks of licensing and regulating nuclear power plants, government also is concerned with issues such as safety and security in and around the plants, threat of terrorism, and consequences of expansion of nuclear power plants. One of the impact is improve the public opinion on nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is high risk endeavor and government should involve public opinion when nuclear power plant regulations are created. Also, make sure they improve their awareness of nuclear energy to the public. Secondly, it can cause political instability, which will impede the economic development and industrialization process in general. Moreover, threat of terrorism on nuclear power plant is still very real, such as destruction of power plant, initiating meltdown and theft of uranium, which can be used as a weapon. One of the major concerns is nuclear power plant also can relate to the nuclear weapon production. One of the byproducts of production of nuclear energy is plutonium, which can be used as a nuclear weapon. Finally, safety of the nuclear power plant is very important. We need to look into accidents such as 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl incident. How it works to change the public relation image will be successful if the controlled operation of nuclear power plant conducted safely and openly. Thank you.
Today I will be presenting about the impacts of nuclear energy on social. So the impacts on the social is this impact emerged from the building and operations of a nuclear power plant. So the result from the impact might cause a social value aspect of the physical environment and the other impacts upon the social structure itself. Also, the unique impact to nuclear power plant is evolved from the perceived of the dangers of the radiation, which is the radiation from the nuclear power plants itself. Okay, so first the impact upon social structure, which is the major construction impact on the social structure is social growth and also resulting demand on the local service and community. So for the school, housing, utilities, water supplies, law enforcement, commercial facilities may be heavily overloaded if a large concentration force must live temporarily in a small, rural, underserviced area. And then second is the perceived radiation danger, which is the radiation from any commercial power plant. The perceived danger of radiation continue to arise among certain segments of the public. This is a health and social concern with strong psychological overtone. So the radiation emitted by the power plant is bad for health, especially for those who stay nearby the power plant. Therefore, the main issue for this is the health issue will arise. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Eddie, and it's my turn to explain the economic impact of nuclear energy to a country. As explained by my previous teammate, many countries have been using nuclear energy as their alternative fuel. Since nuclear energy is competitive with fossil fuels as means of power generation, what are the economic impacts of using nuclear energy? So, using nuclear energy will cause these benefits to the economy, where there will be increase in GDP through taxes, create job opportunities, impact on the workforce income, and save fuel costs for power generation. So how does the taxes paid by nuclear power plant increases the GDP of a country? So from here we can see that through the taxes paid, in United States, average nuclear power plant pays 16 million to state and local taxes, as well as 67 million to federal taxes annually. These taxes can be used to benefit schools, roads, and overall economy of the country. And this nuclear energy also creates large amount of job opportunities. Anytime when there is a construction of a new plant or factory, there will be job opportunities, but the amount of jobs that are being created are a lot more than the conventional plants. The operation of a nuclear power plant requires 400 to 700 direct permanent jobs, whereas the construction and operation of a new nuclear power plant requires up to 3,500 workers at peak construction. And this chart here shows that the significant amount of jobs created and the GDP raised in a European country for using nuclear energy in comparison to other renewable energy. Next, workforce income will also increase. So from here we can see that nuclear energy has the highest workforce income due to the need of large capacity workforce and high technical skilled workers for the operation. The higher income will provide better standards of living to the people and the country. Lastly, it will save fuel costs for using nuclear energy for power generation. Uranium are much cheaper than other non-renewable fuels such as coal and natural gas. But how? 1 kilogram of uranium produces 20,000 times more energy than 1 kilogram of coal for power generation. This energy efficiency will cause the overall use of raw material to be much lesser. The US Nuclear Energy Institute suggests that the cost of fuel for coal-fired power plant and gas-fired plant are much higher than uranium, which is at where uranium is at 34%. So these are the benefits that has been explained earlier, where we have 16 million and 67 million taxes, 34% of the total cost of the plant is the fuel cost, the job opportunities, and the amount of energy that are being produced from 1 kilogram of uranium. So how does nuclear energy impact European economy? From all the benefits that I've explained earlier, these are the examples that how nuclear energy impacted the European economy. And that's all from me. Thank you.
So the next slide is about the impact of nuclear energy on environment. Nuclear power has been called a clean source of energy because power plants do not release carbon dioxide. While this is true, it is deceiving. Power plant may not emit carbon dioxide during operation, but high amount of carbon dioxide are emitted in activities related to building and running the plant. The second one is nuclear power plant constantly emit low level of radiation into environment. Long terms of exposure to low level radiation has been shown to damage DNA. The effect of low level of radiation also cause a bad impact to wildfire, plants, and also the ozone layer. Even if all safety precautions are followed, there is no guarantee that a nuclear power plant accident will not occur. If a nuclear power plant accident occurs, the environment and surrounding people could be exposed to high level of radiation.